Hey everyone, I'm Leanne and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you already know me. Thanks for coming back. Today we are doing a tag. This is like a very old school YouTube moment and I definitely have a soft spot in my heart for old YouTube. So I was excited to do this. I saw this tag on Jessica from Jam Beauty 89's channel. She seems so sweet. She has a baby, she's got a husband, they have like a vlog channel, and she just seems like the sweetest person in the world. She didn't actually make this tag up, but this is how I found it. And I thought they were very interesting questions. It's called the Truthful YouTuber tag. And I'm already so offended and resentful of that title, but the questions are good. And I feel like it will be interesting stuff that's kind of like back end, like more like YouTube-y kind of questions. I don't know how to describe it. There are questions that are about like sponsorships, working with brands, bad interactions, like things that get on your nerves about YouTubers and YouTube, all kinds of stuff. So I thought this was very interesting. I definitely wanted to do it. So obviously that's what we're doing today. Hopefully you're into it. Definitely leave me recommendations, requests, all of that stuff in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about these questions because they go deep and I would like to hear your thoughts. Let's get started because I feel like this is gonna take me a while. Number one, have you ever received a product, tried it, didn't like it, and then decided not to review it? Absolutely. I feel like this goes without saying, but obviously since this question is on here, it doesn't. Like people must wonder. But I've been on YouTube for like, about 35 years so far, and there has been a lot of PR, a lot of products that have come my way, and I have never felt like an obligation to review something. Like when I review something, it's because I'm genuinely excited about it. Like if I saw it in a store, I would buy it and I would be excited to share it with you guys. So if a product comes in and I'm just not excited about it, like that's not gonna make it into a video probably. But I think what this question is really asking is no, I have never not reviewed a product publicly just because I didn't like it and I wanted to like protect the brand. You know what I mean? Like I do not have any brand loyalty on that level. Like I don't have any like best friendships with any brand. I kind of feel like by the way some people talk in their videos like, oh, this person from this brand and this and this and this and this, like it kind of seems like people have like very deep relationships with brands and I just don't have that. I'm like, thanks. Like when they send you PR, it's kind of a risk on their part. Like yes, the reward could be very high if you really like the product and you use it in a bunch of videos and you suggest it all the time to people. Like that could be really, really good for them. But at the same time, they can send you PR and either you don't talk about it because it doesn't interest you, or you don't like it and you give it a negative review. Like that is just kind of the risk that happens with PR, and it's worth it to them to do that. So I've just never felt an obligation, and I also don't have like brand loyalty on that level. I know that when brands send me PR, it's not because they like me, it's because it could help them. You know what I mean? Okay, I already feel like I'm going on way too long with my answer. So number two, product you use alone but don't show or use online. I can't really think of one. I don't know why I would do that. Like if I find something and I love it, I am so excited to share it with you guys. And I feel like that's the point of YouTube. You know what I mean? Like if I find something really cool, I want to be the one that turns you on to new stuff that you haven't tried because that is my value in this YouTube world. You know, that's the kind of thing that beyond just if you like my personality, you'll value me sharing something that adds value to your world. You know what I mean? Did I say value too many times? Possibly. But actually, the only situation I can think of that maybe I wouldn't share a product is maybe if it's not available anymore, because that's just annoying and frustrating. Like as a viewer, if you're seeing something you really like or someone's raving about something in a tutorial and like using this lipstick, but they're like, oh, but you can't get it anymore because it's like limited edition like 18 years ago, and you're like, oh, thanks for making me fall in love with this, and then snatching it away because it's no longer available. You know what I mean? So I know how that feels, so I'm not trying to do that to you. But recently I actually did do that to you, and I didn't even mean to. I used an eyeshadow palette in my true crime Get Ready With Me video, and at the time I filmed it, it was still available on Sephora, but by the time I published it like a week later, it wasn't. It felt real bad. Okay, number three. Yeah, this is where it feels like it's starting to go deep. Product you want but won't buy because you don't support the brand. Okay, so this is kind of a very complicated question, and it might be a really easy question for other people, but for me, it's something that I kind of go back and forth with, and I feel like it is very complex. So I actually don't have any products or brands that are like blacklisted for me. Like I don't hold any grudges against any brands. Maybe that will change in the future, but for now, I don't really have that. And I think that's partially due to the fact that I don't really stay up on like the latest cancellation of a person or a product. Like I'm not on Twitter like getting excited when people are getting hated on. I'm not like thrilled to bash somebody. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what it looks like to me. Like it starts to look like this is somebody's form of entertainment to like take someone down. And obviously, like when people do really questionable things or people have done really bad things, like I understand there are consequences in life, but it's just not what I feel like I need in my life. And sometimes I feel like people get into it just to like jump on the bandwagon, almost like it's a trending topic. So they do it and they put in their 2 cents just to be a little more popular, or they're just kind of putting in their 2 cents to show other people that like, hey, I just want you to know that I'm not like that. I'm better than that. That's a little cringy to me that someone's like go way out of their way to just be like, guys, just so you know, I'm an angel. I've never done anything wrong and I deserve some likes. Like, it's just kind of cringy to me when it comes off like that. You know what I mean? So I've definitely missed a lot of the big stories probably. And I've kind of like heard little bits and pieces and been like, wait, what happened? Like, what's the backstory here? I missed something big. But one that I was definitely very aware of was the Kat Von D one. Like, she came out, she wasn't going to vaccinate her kid, and the internet exploded. And I can totally see where everyone is coming from. Like, vaccinate your children, please save the babies. Like, yes, obviously. But there's this little part of me that's like, if I make a big stink about boycotting her brand, is she going to change her mind about vaccinating her child? Like, is this going to bully someone into changing their viewpoint on vaccines? I kind of don't think so. And in turn, is that just going to be like punishing the whole mass of people that work for their brand because she made a Instagram post or whatever about this topic? Is that putting someone out of a job? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's a very complex topic. Probably a lot of people are gonna have like really great answers. Me, it's kind of all over the place, but like, again, it's me. Okay, number 4 is, do you have any blocked words? Yes, I do. I very much do. If you don't have a YouTube channel and you don't know what I'm talking about, there is like a little section in your community backend stuff where you can block certain words. So if that word comes up in a comment, it won't show up and you don't have to deal with that. So it was a really, really wonderful thing. I've been on YouTube for a million years and this did not exist when I first started on YouTube. And when I discovered this tool, I was like, whoa, this is a whole new world. I was so relieved and I was so happy that finally YouTube seemed to be like really doing something to almost like protect creators, because the reality of my situation is like, I never, ever, ever need to see a comment accusing me of having an eating disorder or diagnosing me with an eating disorder or saying any number of things. And I have gotten comments all over the place about that topic, especially in my early days before this whole tool came about. And that was like the first thing I put in there. I was so happy, like, block, 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 block. Like every word I could think of that would just take that out of the situation, because that's just not the vibe that I need in my comment section. I don't need other commenters like coming to my rescue, and I don't need to see it. You can imagine. Nobody needs to see that. You know, negativity can come in all different ways. I don't know how you would be able to use that tool to like censor out every negative comment. I don't think that's possible. So it's not like, oh, I'm just like censoring everything and no one will ever leave me a negative comment. I do feel like I'm pretty lucky and I get a lot of positivity, and that's thanks to you guys. I also have other ones that are just like really vulgar words, like, I don't know, it's like sexual stuff. Like, that's not really what we're doing here. That's not really the vibe in the comment section. I just like imagine someone watching my video and just being like a nice person, like someone that just is here to, I don't know, talk about hair and nails and makeup and stuff like that. And they go down my comment section, the first comment they see is like something nasty. Like, no, it's just not what I need. So yes, I absolutely have blocked words, and I'm so thankful for that tool, because I remember YouTube when we didn't have it and it was pretty dark. Number 5, do you delete comments? If so, why? Again, I do feel really, really lucky to have the audience that I have. You guys are really kind and really positive and really grown up with good boundaries most of the time. But yes, everybody gets comments that just straight up like slap you in the face. And yes, of course, I've deleted comments. Like if there's something that's just straight abusive, like 0% constructive, like I'm sorry, I don't need that. If it's just cruel and I see it, I have the power to do that. And there's no part of me that feels guilty for doing that. You know what I mean? I wish that I could think of one that I've deleted in the past, just like give you an example, but really like I don't have to delete comments a lot. So I just can't even think of one. Okay, number 6, do you block people? I definitely have. But I don't feel like I really block people a lot because now there is a little feature where you can just hide them or mute them. So you just don't have to hear from them anymore. And I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like that person that wants to leave you really hateful, cruel comments, they could still just be typing away and they're happy and they're getting what they need out of that kind of situation. And I'm also getting what I need, which is to never hear from that person ever again. So I don't know, I feel like it's good for everyone. Number 7, have you ever lied about a product to stay on good terms with the brand? Honestly, I don't think I have ever done that. Like I've mentioned like 7 or 8 times in this video, I've been on YouTube a very, very long time. And I feel like the whole vibe, the whole attitude on YouTube was totally different back then, and I've always had the fear in me. Like I've always taken it very seriously, and I've always wanted to, you know, have integrity on my channel, and I've always taken it very, very seriously that if I talk about something, if I talk about loving something and I recommend it to you, there's a chance that you're gonna go out and put your money on the table and get that product. And I want it to work for you. I want you to be able to trust me. I value that you've taken your time to watch my video and then go out and trust me enough to buy it and try it yourself. Like put something on your skin that I said was good, you know? Like that is serious. And it like boggles my mind that anybody takes it less serious than that. The bottom line is that I feel like maybe some people forget about is your channel is not successful because a brand likes you. Your channel is successful because people trust you and like you and enjoy your videos. That's where the value is. That's where you're actually successful. So the brand is not going to be in love with you or like you or show you attention or send you free products or take you on trips or anything like that if you don't have people watching you, if people no longer trust you. Like, of course, everybody has different skin, everybody's in different climates. Like, you can have a totally different experience with a product than I do. But if somebody's lying about products over and over again, I feel like that comes out in the end, or at least I hope it does. I hope the world works like that. I don't know, I've just always taken it very seriously. Like, everything in your life comes down to your word. Like, if your word doesn't mean anything, like, you don't have much. That got a little too serious, but that's genuinely how I feel about it. It's like a very serious thing to me. Like I've been doing this for so long, like you can't just throw that away. And in my opinion, that would be throwing it away. Number 8, have you ever initially liked a product when you reviewed it and then changed your mind but didn't let your audience know? Maybe that's happened, but I can't think of a specific product that's happened on. But I always really do try to update you guys because I do feel like it's my responsibility. And if I've recommended something, I want to come back and be like, oh wait, I noticed this and this and this about it. And so definitely take that into consideration if that's not going to work for you. You know what I mean? It might not always be like I'm doing a whole like video update about something. Like I guess if it was really serious, I would, but a lot of times it might be on social media. I mean, generally I do take it very seriously and I recommend stuff that I really, really love. And I'm really not that fickle about products. Like I don't try something one time and then put it in a favorites video. That's lying. Like you might really love it for that one day, but in the end, like that's not truthful, you know? Like you can't say this is my favorite foundation of all time. I've used it for 2 days and definitely go buy it. It's only $75. Like that's very fake to me. Yes, that keeps the drama level on your channel very high and you can crank videos out like that when you don't have to try for something for very long and it's all first impressions and everything is the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. But in reality, that is not good for the audience. That's not good for trust. That's not good for integrity, you know? Again, I'm taking these questions like way too seriously. Here's a question. Number 9, influencer you don't trust. Wow, this is like a mean girl question. I don't like this question. I don't feel like this is helpful for anyone. This is just like stirring up drama, but I can understand why it's there and I can understand why people would probably be really annoyed if I didn't actually answer. So to piggyback on Jessica's answer, I do tend to agree that the really like big like multi-million subscriber count channels are harder to relate to and harder to really, really take seriously about every product because they got so much money. You know, that $80 foundation or that $100 moisturizer, that's not a huge deal to them. And they're just like, yeah, this is good, but this is the most expensive thing, so it must be good. And it's no sweat off my back to purchase this and repurchase this and tell you that you really, really need it. But at the same time, I still can think of multi-million subscriber channels that I do trust and I do value their opinion, you know? So it doesn't go for all of them. So even then I can't really like pinpoint one YouTuber or just say like all big YouTubers, I can't trust them, you know, like making that generalization, it just doesn't really work for me. But then I realized it said influencer and not YouTuber. And I started thinking about Instagram because there are definitely people on Instagram, even that I follow, that I do not trust. So I'd say maybe like the first thing that you can do on Instagram that will make me kind of like disregard all of your product recommendations is being sponsored by like a fit tea or like a weight loss pill or like one of those wraps or like waist trainers, like, you know, those really like gimmicky, stupid things that everybody knows they don't work. And it's like a complete joke at this point, but you're still taking the money and passing it off to your followers. Like, hey guys, this is what's done it for me. Like, no, everyone thinks that's a joke. And I might follow you still because I like your style or you're funny or something like that. Like there are other things that keep me coming back and it's not that deep. But like when it comes to product recommendations, like no, I don't really trust you anymore. Like I'm good. I should go through my email account, like my LeighAnnSays email account, and like look for all the like fit tea, skinny tea, that kind of stuff in my inbox and like tell you the number, because seriously, those people do not quit reaching out. Ever. All right, number 10, influencer you trust the most. Again, this was a really, really tough question, but my mind immediately went to like the YouTubers that I've been subscribed to like the longest, like the Emily Noels of the world, like people that I feel like are in it like to really help. You know what I mean? Like for the love of the game. Like they really try to make products work. They try things and they consider the price of the product. Even if they like something, they will give good and bad notes about it. It's not immediately like, yes, this is the new hot thing. This is my everything. You have to go buy this, like about everything. There's always like a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. Like that is a review to me. And everything can't be a first impression. Like I've done first impressions. There is value in first impressions. I just like to see a variety of products. I like to see high and low. I like to see tips and tricks. And I like somebody that is also funny. I know that doesn't really come in with like the trusting, but like I have to kind of like you to watch your videos, you know what I mean? There's definitely a lot of YouTubers like that. But in my mind, the first name that came up was Emily Noel. Okay, number 11, secret tips or product application you don't show while on camera. What is this question? No, like the point of YouTube, the point of making videos is to like share secret tips and tricks and products that you're using that would help other people. Like if I discovered some makeup trick or secret or something like that, I would immediately be running to my camera to share it with you guys, because that is the name of the game. Like you want to do new, innovative stuff. You want to be trying products that not everybody's trying. You want to find good stuff and be the one sharing it first. Why would I not? Okay, number 12, have you ever showed one product but were actually using another? This question is hilarious, and no, I've never even thought of that as like a possibility. That really just like dismantles the whole YouTube beauty community altogether. Like, are people doing that? I feel like they're not. I had never thought that they were. I don't know why you would do that, because in the end, when viewers go and buy that product that you were supposedly using and then it doesn't work the same way for them and it looks different on their skin than it looks on yours, like that's just not the road you want to go down. And I can't believe people are doing that. If people are doing that, are people doing that? Okay, number 13, have you ever not disclosed a sponsorship? No. I've never thought that was going to help my channel. Like I said, on YouTube back in the day, people had a very different attitude, especially towards sponsored content. And I feel like being wary of that and knowing how that was going to affect me and my channel, that really just kind of made me extra super sensitive and picky about who I wanted to work with and what I wanted to do. And I'm kind of happy about that. I'm kind of grateful, because yes, everybody is more accepting of sponsored content and that's a good thing. But at the same time, I don't like to see when every single video is sponsored or every post is sponsored. I don't begrudge anyone money. I know this is a lot of work. I've been doing it a long time, and I know that ad money on YouTube not very good. And so sponsorships are very, very tempting. But again, it comes down to your integrity. It comes down to giving your audience what they want and doing genuine stuff. You know what I mean? Like any kind of brand that tries to like give you lines, like it's just not a thing for me. I can't do lines, not just because I can't remember them, but it just feels fake and it feels forced. And anything that is fake and forced, like I just can't do it. And I do kind of feel like that's something that's held me back a little bit on YouTube. But at the same time, I'm glad. I don't want to move ahead in that way. I don't want to be a puppet for brands. I mean, that's just not how I want to live my life. And so I think if I was doing that, I would start to hate myself. Again, getting too serious. Okay, number 14, have you ever had a bad interaction with a brand? I've definitely had a few interactions with brands that were kind of pushy, or maybe they kind of mismanaged a schedule, or their expectations were a little crazy, and maybe there was like 2 middlemen in between me and the brand, and so it just became tiresome. But I wouldn't generally say I've just had like an all over like bad interaction where I'd want to like warn other people like do not work with them, it's not worth it, they mistreat you and abuse you. Like I've never really had that situation. And I've also, like I said, been very, very picky, and typically when you're getting into a sponsored situation or you have an offer coming your way, you almost always know what you're getting into or what the expectations are mostly. Like, yes, down the line, the interactions or the expectations or like the friendliness or something like that, it might not be what you expect, but I don't feel like I had just like a bad interaction with a brand, you know? But I do feel like I have been in some kind of like uncomfortable situations with more so like manager type people, like MCNs, like that kind of thing, like networks, those people. Sometimes they're the people that are bringing you some kind of offer and then doing contracts. Like sometimes your best interest is not the priority. And that's really sad because you're the one doing the work. Like, yes, if somebody's bringing you something, they are doing some of the work, and that's great and valuable. And yes, they should be getting paid, but you're doing kind of most of the work. Like you're putting out the creative effort to make the thing where everyone gets paid. And a lot of people promise a lot of things, and then whenever it really comes down to it, you might find out that your best interest was just not the priority. Like I just heard so many stories from so many people that is just part of this world, because this is a very new thing and a lot of people don't know what to expect, and a lot of people don't know their worth. And I definitely did not know the worth of some things that I did in the beginning, but I feel like I've learned over time. And at the same time, I do have to say I've worked with networks and MCNs and agencies and managers that were really, really wonderful, and they did really put in a lot of work. And of course, in those situations, they really totally deserve a cut. They're helping you out, they have your back. But it is a situation where you kind of have to take the bad with the good, and you also kind of have to be slow to trust, which is difficult in this situation. Generally, if I've had like face-to-face contact with a brand, it's been nothing but positive. That's their job generally. I don't know why they would be mean to me, but hopefully that doesn't happen to other people. But yeah, that's just been my experience, you know? Okay, wow, yeah, this is a long video. Number 15, have you ever bandwagoned with other people's thoughts on a particular product? I really do not think I have. Like, okay, do you remember when the whole like subculture palette thing was happening and everyone was putting in their 2 cents about it? Like that turned me off so much and annoyed me so much. Like I didn't even want to find out for myself. Like I had zero interest. Well, I didn't really like the colors to begin with, but I was just like, really? Does everyone need to make a video about this? Like I get why people do it because it was like a trending topic, and maybe there was somebody out there that hadn't heard about it and heard that everybody didn't like it. But I find that hard to believe, and I tend to think viewers think like me. But I get so annoyed by bandwagoning and everyone talking about the same thing and everyone having the same opinion about something and everyone putting a video about it. Like I just shun it. I'm like, no, I'm not even interested. Like I want to go this way when everybody's going this way. And I'm sure that's not really great for my channel. I'm sure I could get some really like great clickbait out of like hating a product that everybody hates, but it just kind of seems like old news to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. Number 16, things other creators do that get on your nerves. I think that my tolerance for annoying YouTubers or YouTubers doing annoying things is way, way higher than most people. I think people are very, very picky about YouTubers and they like pick them apart constantly. Like, you touch your hair too much, or that picture's crooked, and people just get like so deeply annoyed about things. And I'm like, why does that matter to you? I can watch people that are so annoying, but for me, it's not annoying if it comes across like they're being themselves. I don't even have like an example, but if someone comes across genuine, it works for me. And I can accept a lot, even if they are totally different from me. And even if I felt like, wow, we really wouldn't get along in person, I can still get enjoyment out of their videos. I don't know, it's very hard to explain. But what really starts to get to me is whenever things start coming across as a gimmick, when it's not genuine, when it's like they're doing something just to kind of like cultivate an audience or to pander to their audience. It's almost like a cult leader, or maybe like a dog. Like, if you're giving them a treat every time they do this one trick and they just keep doing it over and over and over again, and they don't realize that it's getting old and they're maybe not getting as many treats as they used to get, but they just keep doing it and it's annoying. Like, that's the kind of thing that gets annoying to me. I'm sure that works for some people, but to me it starts to seem like kind of like a cartoon. Like, oh, this is the thing that always happens here, and this is the thing that always happens here. And I do feel like that's kind of a YouTube format that works, like the whole cult leader thing, where it's like, together we do this ritual and this is what we do and I call my fans this, and like that is very normalized on YouTube, but I've always been a little creeped out by it. I've never given my audience a name. I watch a lot of people that do that kind of stuff, and I do know that's just kind of part of the YouTube culture, and so it's not something that's like sinister or anything, but just gimmicky stuff. I don't like it. It gets old to me so much faster than I think the normal person. So yeah, that's definitely the most annoying thing to me. All right, that's everything. That was a lot. I'm really sorry if this video was 100 years long. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you can know every time I upload a new video. You can also find me on social media. I post a lot more on social media than I do on YouTube, and so we can connect over there. Connect? That was awkward, right? I just need to stop talking. I've been talking for too long. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. Always lived by that. How loud? Ugh. It boggles the mind. Very warm in this room, and these questions are scalding hot. My nose is so itchy. Help. Come here, Looney.
What are you so mad about?
Oh my gosh, I have been rambling so much in this video. I gotta reapply my lipstick.